Hello, hello, hello. We'll be starting here soon. And as everybody saw, it'll be paying a visit to Hildebrand. We'll do the Tataru new side quest as well as Omega's side quest. So give me a few more minutes and we'll get started.
I'm wise because I've been foolish. I'm strong because I've been weak. They talk while I keep dreaming, and I don't get what to resist. I can't see why. I can't see why. When I let go of
Okay. Let's get going here. Hope everybody's had a good day so far. Or if you're just beginning your day, I hope it stays okay.
I'ma let go, I'm gonna bleed it out.
In your tum tum. That looks so insane. So pretty, but so insane. Have a building like that. Or a city. Alright, said hi to everybody. And on to the chaos. Someone up ahead may have seen something. Let's ask around. Oh yeah, I get Nashu following me around. So anybody done this one already? Or seen this one already? Just curious. If anyone can lead us to the inspector, it'll be that man with the large sack. I know it! Kirga and his family are the nicest people. They've got such gentle eyes and large snouts. Long snouts. Too long that... Too. Longer than anyone I've ever met in Eorzea. Not going there. The man with the sack, indeed. I couldn't help but take note of him as he passed, trying so very hard to be inconspicuous as he was. Oh. That had to be our man, right? We need to head down to that merchant. Can I just jump from there? Please tell me I can. I'm probably missing a few things. More than likely, but I don't care. Oh. Same comment. It's incredible, isn't it? It reminds me of the giant statue of Lord Godbert at the Gold Saucer. Once the inspector's back on his feet, we'll have to show him. Man with a large sack? Ha! You bet I saw him. In fact, I sold him my chocobo. At first I told him to get lost, that bird and I go way back, and so forth, but he was in a hurry and his offer was very generous. When you're in my line of work, you can't afford to get too sentimental, and now I can buy a whole stable worth of chocobos. Did he say where he was planning to go next? He was muttering something about having to get to Saltwind's welcome in a hurry. Probably why he was desperate for a chocobo. It's a long way to go on foot. Never mind the sack. Did you hear that? We need to head to Saltwind's welcome right now. Away. Uh-oh. Luckily, I can fly. Here we are, which means the mysterious man with the mysterious sack must be near. Keep your eyes peeled. Over there, that man is definitely up to no good. Maybe he's waiting for a co-conspirator? We should stay out of sight and watch what happens. Ah, Mr. Chupacabra. But he expressively told us he had put the evil schemes behind him. He wouldn't lie, would he? Of course he would. The goods appear to be none the worse for wear. Very well, your payment as promised. My client will be most pleased. Oh no, is he going to feed the inspector to that giant sea monster? Duh. It's an honor and pleasure as always, Dr. Ig. I have faith this specimen will meet with your satisfaction. So this is the one said to be the strongest, most resilient in all the world. The Mandeville Man. None other. He was weathered countless explosions, multitude of martial abuses, including the devastating suplex I myself did witness. It's even said he survived a journey to Dalamud itself, and survived the Lesser Moon's fall with nary a scratch. Most fortunately for us, he has fallen into a coma from which I am assured he will never wake. You are free to do with his body as you please. Even the mightiest warriors can't fight while asleep. Those meddlers may have gotten the better of me and my beautiful body in the Tower of Babel, but my next child will be all but invincible with this body mind command. I will exact a bloody glorious revenge. Forgive me my boldness, Dr. Lig. But when might I expect the rest of my payment? I have debts that must be repaid. Worry not, with the Telafori gone for good, the vast fortune of House Brutus is entirely at my disposal. I shall shower you with wealth, my loyal minion. And gladly I shall accept the spoils, Doctor, and resolve never to renounce my wicked ways, for surely this time I will suffer no... I can't say that word. I'm not gonna even try. No, not you! Not now! Bye, Mr. Way! Oh, I don't think so. Did he take the body? Yes. Wait, Dr. Leg, my payment! Wake up, Inspector! Of course it does. Could it be? It's no longer purple. Oh my god. moving, damn you! You're supposed to be comatose, centerpiece of my glorious revenge! Mommy! What a dork. Not again! Oh my gosh. Of course. Oh my gosh, Hildebrand. You're a dork. I say, that was a rather dramatic series of events to awaken to. But more importantly, after a brief detour, I found myself in my own world once more. My most sincere apologies for causing you such trouble, my loyal assistants. But rejoice, for Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has made his triumphant return. Wait. Aliens? Wait. Aliens? Wait, Inspector! I knew it, an alien abduction, and to think I would have the chance to witness one with my own eyes. This month's issue of the Tavernarian Truth shall be the best one yet. and just when I thought we finally had the inspector back, off he went and then came back, and then floated off again. Hey, KG! Nice! Congrats on completing it. Did you get the Eden mount? Aww, I saw we. Oof. At least it wasn't a 1. I know it's not the first time he's taken to the skies without warning, but still, it's always a little disappointing. Still, there's no use crying over flying inspectors. Let's return to Rods at Han. I mean... that sucks. That really sucks. Because it's by 1. But now you've beaten it. Yes, now you understand the fight. And maybe between you and Gas I won't die so much. Or at least with you there, I hopefully won't die as much. I mean, did you do every roll? Then again, you're one of the few people I know that can float. If I remember correctly. You can play almost anything. You guide them all fair. Nice. I mean, I think, and it's one thing that I heard from a couple of people who have done Savage stuff, is that it doesn't... How was I gonna put it? Watching the video helps, but it doesn't exactly grind it into you as much as doing the actual mechanics themselves. Okay. Oh, jeez Louise. That's going to be insane to do. Oh my god. Nice. Where's she at? Over there, okay. Oh, she's over here. I bet. I haven't even started a woo. I don't think I have anyway. Oh, Inspector, why have you left me again? Where have you gone? No, this won't do. Get it together, Nashu. There's a case to be solved. Oh, nice. Oh, that's right. It's the Ultima weapon. Ultima weapon ultimate. That kind of, yeah. Redundancy. Just you wait, Inspector. Your loyal assistant Nashu will solve the mystery of your disappearance again! Don't you worry, Sierra. As soon as I have a new lead, you'll be the first to know. Till next time. KG. Yeah, it's the new Hildebrand quest. I'm trying to decide if I'm at the end or not. Not bad. So far, I've liked it. My god, his face is so weird. I think the only one out of Hildebrand I didn't like so far was the ones from ARR. He is. He's funny. I don't think he's gone just yet. Okay, now back to Charlian. To unlock KG and get some sleep. I work tomorrow and have Friday off. I mean, fair. Okay, where is the one that I need next? Small business, big dreams. I think that's the one to continue for Tataru's thing, if I remember correctly. Yes. Seems inordinately eager to speak with you. Yay, Tataru adventure. My mouse is scared. See your tenants? Yeah, welcome, welcome! I'm Magina, assistant shopkeep and apprentice seamstress here at Taru's boutique. I doubt you remember my face, as I am merely one of many who owe you our lives, but you will always have my gratitude for saving me that day on Eblanrim. I can't say any other words sometimes. You are too kind, and while I hate to ask aught more of you, please say that you're here to assist in Mistress Tataru's new endeavor? Wait. Not yet? but she soon shall be. Tataru! Whatever would we do without your penchant for turning up precisely when you're needed, eh? That's creepy, Tataru. That face is so creepy. Now, to make the long story of our solvents short, we've secured resources to produce the new designs I developed in cooperation with guilds near and far, and in sufficient quantity to meet rising demand. We shan't rest on our laurels, however. To serve passing adventurers and the occasional intrepid Charlian is all well and good, but we're hardly taking the world by storm, no. Much like yourself, we must look toward new horizons. The Scions prove that cooperation on a star-wide scale is possible, and we would be fools not to capitalize on that to build the grandest trade network in the history of Heidelin, all for the greater good, of course. A true Lalafell. Out for the gill. Yes, this is a wonderful opportunity to bring people together. I often think back to the incredible moment when the Garlean army came close enough, to our rescue. Perhaps our efforts, too, will one day lead to a miracle like that which took place on Ablan Rin. I have no doubt that they shall. But we mustn't expect such alliances to form themselves. We must be proactive, and who better to woo our future partners in commerce than our current #1 customer, you? Wait a minute, I've been volunteered. Our erstwhile comrades in arms know that when it comes to good equipment and better ideas, few have such keen eyes as our adventurer extraordinaire. Even should they hesitate at first, I'm certain you can convince them using the samples I've prepared. Wait. Tataru, why are you volunteering me? Well, I see that my mind is made up. If you'll cover my aetheryte expenses... Can I just add the words "for me"? Please? Well, I see that my mind's made up for me. But of course, with your assistance, we'll have both coin and goodwill flowing in no time. Everything is falling into place. Shall we send Sierra first? Don't worry. I have it all planned out. First, Limsa Liminsa. Sicard has the bloody executioners working harder than ever, so he is sure to appreciate any extra supplies. Next, Gridania. The Seed Seers are a source of trusted authority and insight into the Shroud, so we'd not go amiss in cultivating the investment of, say, Arunsana? Right? I'm not okay with this. Also, can I point out we don't get to say no? I hear tell that he has some interest in affairs abroad, so the novelty of our samples may persuade him to our side. She's scamming everybody. As for Alda, I feel confident in pinning our hopes on Pippin. Or pinning our hopes on Pippin. Can I... word, please? He's always been a stalwart ally, and it goes without saying that he has more than a little sway in the Sultanate. Between his involvement with the Immortal Flames, the Syndicate, and the Coliseum, he's bound to find a use for quality... I'm not gonna even try, I can't word. Accoutrements? I can't word. With that out of the way. Nope, I can't. I can't right now. I talk all day, so it's bound to happen. Gina, would you do the honors? You know, for once, I think I would be happy to actually just take the boat. I have the guild, that's not the point of it, but all this traveling around, really? Hey, C! Oh no! Jade! I'm sorry. Did your dad bring it home, or... Never let it be said that Tataru is stingy with her samples. Now, if you make your way to Limsa and climb aboard the Asticula, I'm certain someone will point you in Sickard's direction. Yeah, I did, by accident. I'm tired. Right? Bad COVID. I have my own avenues of inquiry to attend to, but I'll check in periodically to see how your journey is coming along. Let's get to it. Oh no. And you'll have to wait at least another day, maybe two, before you can test yourself, right? They just got back Sunday. Well, you might be safe to test. I'm curious on how much it's going to cost to actually take the boat. Not that I'm going to, I'll probably still teleport, but... Wait, what's this guy's name? Thor's the troll. Love it. Wandering minstrel! Secluding myself to my basement, I've been busy getting my room back to semi-useful as I miss my bed and has been in the process of fixing the walls for 2 weeks already. Yeah, I bet you. I mean, I don't blame you for that. See before you will sail for those on the Thank you. It's done. Not much cheaper, but it's cheaper. Also, I'm still curious on how you pay for the aetherite. Do you just like use it like a coin machine and put coins in there, and then you can use it to teleport? Okay, where are you, Sickard? Down there. Almost went the wrong way. I've missed having the long hair on my character for a while. I've had it short for a little while. Of course he's up top. I recognize ye. What do you want? Talk to Sigurd. As long as it's not about another bloody apocalypse. Oh, hey! I don't see why not. Wait here. No, I'm not stealing them away for another apocalypse. They tested negative yesterday and positive today. Not sure when I should test myself, but to be honest, I figured I'd give it a couple more days before I test. Upside is far no symptoms, so I'm hoping I'll avoid it like the last 2 times my parents got it. Of course I didn't. Well, bugger me. Sigurd! Thought we'd seen the last of you for a while. What brings you aboard? Your crew seems busy. No rest for the wicked and all. We get in some shipping requests. That's what we've hardly put down anchor since old Charlian. You know, there was a time I thought pirating was the whole world. That being the best of them all meant something. Going to Ilsebard made me see how small my world was, compared to the real one. Standing next to the star's finest, I started to wonder what I had to brag about. Then the bloody executioners went and did me proud by bringing in a bigger goddamn haul of adamantite than anyone else in the realm. Between that and the new metalworks we've gotten going, with the kobolds and the Sahagin looking to export their own wares, it seems like the right time for the executioners to change our sails, so to speak. Which is all to say that if you've got wares for promoting, I'd be happy to show them off across the realm and beyond. Now that you mention it. Masterworks from Tataru's boutique, guaranteed by the warrior of light herself. Almost seems a waste to wear 'em. Folk be lining up at the docks for these. Literally, seen as Charlian's only accessible by sea, now if we got ourselves an exclusive shipping contract. One swindler to the other. I see the course is clear as day. Now we just need a Madeline on board. He's right useless when there's work to be done, but talk's another matter, and he still owes me one for keeping his sorry arse out of trouble, so I'll have to Love it. I can't even read it. That's awesome. Of course. Those two are like the best of friends that can't stop picking on each other. So I'll have him put in touch with a few savvy salesman types on the continent. Sounds like a plan to me. Okay. Have a good night, Jade, and enjoy your lurk. Tell Tataru I look forward to setting sail on this new tide of hers. May the winds of change guide us right. I said that wrong. Sierra, it's me. How goes our little venture thus far? No stickers high in the shipping routes, Izzy. All according to plan, but our work has only just begun. I'll keep my I'll keep after my own contacts while you work on Arun. I hear he's not often in the city, but I don't doubt that Mother Mion can sniff him out. I have no doubt on that one. I owe her a visit anyway. Oh, I haven't shown you yet. According to Jay, I shouldn't, but hey. You're running away because it's Lisa's outfit. It's only for my dancer. I always thought that that was a dancer's outfit anyway. You're safe now, KG. I'm not wearing it anymore. Dive! I so want to be able to jump into the water. But you can't here. What you got now? What's it? Okay. Thank you. After Gudon. Nice. I need to get back to doing that. But I feel that farming Eureka would be kind of boring on stream. And also, that's not a settlement either. I do need to get back to that. And I was on the right side for once. To me, that would be expensive, but that's because I spend my gil too often. Why, if it isn't Sierra, struck with a sudden craving for eel pie, where are you? Or is it information you fancy? I mean, this isn't even all my gil. I have close to 1 million in my retainers. Close to or a little over 1 mil. I already read that. Damn! That's a lot of gil. Oh yes, word of our seed seers comings and goings never fails to reach my ears. I'm told that ever since he returned from his foray to Ilsabard, he's been roaming back and forth between our neighboring tribes' settlements and the Lotus Stand. You'll miss him if you make for one or the other, like as not, so I suggest you waylay him at the Blue Badger Gate. I keep thinking that says Anawa. Starbird! Night, KG! Same to you. Get some sleep. Curious. Little kids. I'd ask why you're loitering at the gate, Sierra, and with such an enormous sack. I admit you've piqued my interest. To integrate the tradition of ingenuity of guilds throughout Eorzea in such a fashion is no small feat. As it happens, I'm of the mind to do something similar myself, assuming that I secure the other Seedseer's approval. You are doubtless aware that historically Gridonia has placed the peace of the Twelves Wood in our covenant with the elementals above all else, often to the detriment of our relationship with other peoples. Yet, much as we are one with the Shroud, are we not also a part of the Star entire? Our ventures in Garlemald made plain the strengths of a world united. This attire you carry demonstrates such the same truth. Ah, but perhaps you assumed you would need to talk me around to the idea. If so, I apologize for the disappointment. If 'tis any comfort, I'm nearly as surprised myself. No longer am I content to hear the words of the elementals alone. I wish to know the voices of men. Through our time in Garlemald has shown me that my ability to listen is average at best. These horns may mark me as gifted in the Twelveswood, but beyond, they inspire neither fear nor awe. I have been mistaken several times for a Zila, and may as well be one, for all the difference my status as Seedseer makes to those who want for succor. It was the selfsame insignificance that allowed me, for the first time in my life, to truly feel part of a greater whole. But I am but one life among myriads upon this star. I dare say I should behave accordingly. With luck, my elder sister shall agree. Tell Mistress Tataru that her gift is accepted with gratitude, and she ought to hear from us soon. Guess who? Did you speak with Arun yet? That sounds promising. I'm beginning to understand what makes our Seedseer friend tick. But we can discuss that later. You need to catch Pippin ere his duties take him from Ul'dah once more. I believe he spends much of his time at the Colosseum, so perhaps you should pay a visit to the Gold Court. I'll be awaiting your full report at the boutique. Oh my gosh. I didn't even notice he logged in. Wrong button. Oh, the gold court. I'm almost out of it today. Coliseum Usher. I see. Marshal Turpin is currently engaged in another meeting, but I shall tell him that Lieutenant Terencia awaits his convenience. Pippin! My apologies for keeping you waiting. I did not expect you here this evening. I can hardly say no to. I have long striven for mastery of the blade. I required the trials of Ilsabard, however, to truly see Tizona for what it is. The fire that warms the coldest night, the spark that ignites a blaze of hope, and most of all, an unbreakable testament to Father's faith in me. More ally than tool, it is a treasure beyond price. Does every soldier of the immortal flames not deserve allies such as this? Arms and armor to remind them of what they fight to protect, to help them stand when they might otherwise fall. Indeed, works made possible only through the ingenuity and dedication of allies across the star may be just the sort of inspiring armaments we need. I anticipate that I will be sending along an order for custom equipment ere long. In the meantime, would you mind if I use these samples for a few trials here at the Coliseum? That's what they're there for. My thanks. We shall put them to use immediately. As a child of Ul'dah, however, naught strikes fear into my heart like the prospect of receiving valuable goods for free. I must insist you accept something in return. I had been meaning to gift that necklace to Tataru. Its poor condition aside, she might rather have it than not. I have spoken with Tataru at some length about our paths. You understand, in many ways we are quite similar. As you may recall, her family was bankrupted when she was very young, a consequence of her father's business failing. They were forced to put all their wealth toward paying off his debts, and then some. One asset they reluctantly parted with was a necklace treasured by her mother, for which Tataru has long searched to no avail. Strangely enough, I recently discovered jewelry of the very same description amidst a store neglected Colosseum prizes. Assuming it is the same piece, I should like to see it returned to her. It is significantly worse off for having changed hands, though, and only the sapphire centerpiece remains unlost and undamaged. She may appreciate the sentiment nevertheless, but it is difficult to say. What do you think? The memories it holds for her aren't lost and damaged. True enough. Though if it is to be a gift, I would prefer to at least clean it up a bit. In that case, I have considered asking the Goldsmiths Guild, but you ought to be able to turn the necklace into a piece that Tataru would wear, if not precisely what she remembers. I imagine you will have the opportunity to pick up gems and other suitable materials on your travels. From there, it is merely a matter of unifying the pieces. Are you willing? No questions asked. Then I will have the sapphire removed from its setting and sent to the boutique with all haste. I doubt even Tataru would dare open a private package addressed to you. Best of luck in finding matching material and in your mercantile endeavors, of course. May the traders guide you to fortune fair. Turn to Charlie. We wish the patch was a story patch. Well, main story, but the consolation prize is momentary. You returned with your bag all the lighter for having given away your samples. Speaking of which, a parcel from one Pippin Turin arrived not bells ago, addressed to you. Could it be that our newfound partnerships are already bearing fruit? Her mother's necklace? Why, that's a wonderful idea! Please allow me to assist. I swear I won't breathe a word of this to Mistress Tataru. I do wonder what parts you will need. Do you know what style Mistress Tataru prefers? If this necklace is to be a keepsake, why not focus on that? Who said that? Oh, her. Ah, apologize. I could not help but overhear. That's quite all right, but do please keep your voice down. What was it you were saying? It has simply occurred to me that since you were gifted the sapphire so readily, our other partners in this endeavor may wish to offer up something for Mistress Tataru as well. With such gifts, you could turn the necklace into a memento of not just her past and its trials, but her present successes as well. That's perfect. If our plans for the boutique proceed apace, we should soon have more than enough tokens from friends across the seas. What do you think? Well, were you waiting for little old me? Mr. Tataru, we were, just discussing the successful delivery of the samples, yes. Good to hear. How fares your Pippin? I knew he would come through, though I admit that I wasn't expecting to outfit a host of immortal flames quite so soon. I suppose it goes to show that even the most hardened warrior can always learn a thing or two. And Sigurd and Arun, have changed as well. If your tales are any indication, I imagine their personal growth bodes well for that of our network. Thank you for checking up on them. We must sort through our current commissions before deciding who to approach next, but I know I can count on you to be ready when we are. He ran away! Next up, Omega. I gotta remember which one that starts with. Must do Omega. Because it's Omega. I don't remember if that one starts here or not. I think it starts down below. A heartless hypothesis. Down by the shore. Of course it is. Okay. Something to do today. Something different to do too. Banana. Oh, water. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Yep. Time for Omega. The bespectacled technician is enjoying the refreshing harbor breeze. That's blown the cobwebs away. Time to return to work. Goodness me, look who it is. How incredibly serendipitous that I would run into you of all people. I was part of the team which designed the Ragnarok, you see. We've recently begun the process of combing through the vessel's flight log. The primary objective of your journey to Ultima Thule was to save our star and countless others. Of course, but it also provided us with an invaluable trove of information, records of places, events we could only dream of. Your safe return gave us much to be thankful for. As it so happens, one of the things we pulled from the log was a transmission of unknown origin. Something the ship must have intercepted during its flight. We believe it to be an audio message, but even our most talented linguists have been unable to decipher the language. For a while there, it seemed we must accept defeat, but today may be the day that we finally solve the mystery. If you were so inclined, would you care to come along to Damazian? It seems fitting to have one of Ragnarok's original passengers present to hear history being made. I believe it is that one. Am I really gonna have all 3 of these done? And it's not even gonna be encroaching on 10. Sad. Wait. Oh, those are the savages. I do need to unlock those, so... Down I go. Okay. I see a pony that I want. I need to get that one. I want it. Oh, there you are. This is where we're to meet the engineers from Garland Ironworks, who I'm told potentially hold the key to unlocking our mystery transmission. They should be along at any moment. Sorry we're late. In trouble finding thought if any I heard it was Sierra Terencia. No argument here, but bugger me if you don't have a knack for being in the right place at the right time. This actually has more to do with you than you might think, so please, do stick around. Shall we pick up from where we left off then? As I was saying, we think this transmission the Ragnarok intercepted is a message of some kind, albeit in a language entirely alien to our ears. Alien being the operative word, considering we received the message out in the great expanse, its origin was likely some distant star. Unfortunately, our list of off-world allies is presently rather short. Thus, we were resigned to the fact that the meaning behind the message would remain beyond our understanding. One of my colleagues, however, refused to give up. She remembered the ironworks engineers who had been so helpful in the construction of the Ragnarok and turned to them for insight into our seemingly impossible problem. Do you know what Wedge said when he heard what was going on? We should have Omega listen to it. I bet it can tell us what the message means. Not the Omega you beat in the rift, of course. He's talking about the toy that trundles around with Alpha, the little model we made. We originally designed it to follow a chosen target, not much else, but I've seen it act in ways that, well, it's like it has a mind of its own. Then I got to thinking about those documents your lot sent the chief, the full report on the final days. In the part about Omega civilizations, it said their people discovered how to convert the mind into data and store it outside the body. Timing being what it was, I wonder if Omega didn't somehow transfer its consciousness into our model right before you put an end to the real one. So in an effort to get to the bottom of that, as well as take a crack at this indecipherable message, we decided to make some modifications. With help from Labyrinthos technicians, we've upgraded our toy Omega with a full functioning vocalization module. Hi Omega! We played the transmission for Omega. I think it's ready to share. Alpha! Can I hug you? Hello? Are you in there, Omega? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo? I'm going with it. Affirmative. If by Omega you are referring to my consciousness rather than my entire form chassis, existing inside this considerably smaller frame. Prediction. You will formulate several misconceptions. These I shall preemptively dismiss based on the following facts. 1. Vocalization module aside, this chassis remains unmodified from the design constructed by the engineers Biggs and Wedge. I evaluate its combat capabilities to be on par with a mortal infant. 2. The mechanisms which allowed me to perform an emergency transference of my consciousness was installed in my previous body. With the destruction of that body, I am rendered incapable of replicating such a feat. Should this current material form be destroyed or cease to function, all cognitive awareness or presence I possess will be lost. Conclusion. I present no threat to you or your star, nor do my projections indicate the necessity to inflict harm. In the fraction of a moment before my annihilation in the rift, I re-examined my directives. If I am to fulfill my purpose as an evolving construct, then I must continue my journey for improvement for as long as I exist. I must acquire this heart of yours, this strength of soul. Well, there you have it. It's not wrong about its combat capabilities. It'd be more likely to damage itself than the thing it was trying to attack. But let's not forget the reason we brought you here in the first place. What about the transmission they played for you? Could you recognize the language? Affirmative. It was transmitted in Pan-Galactic Basic. Pan-Galactic Basic? A common language in cooperatively extensive usage throughout the worlds we have conquered. Which means you can finally tell us what the message said. That is a language you understand, yes? I understand it perfectly. I am fluent in over 6 million distinct dialectical coding. Look! My cooperation in this matter, however, is conditional. Elaboration. Your chief Sid utilizes the floor as part of his unorthodox filing system, which allowed me to scan the report on the final days. I'm aware that my home star, the one you called Alphatron, was obliterated in the aftermath of Sir Amedion's meeting. The existence of Dynamis has not previously factored into my projections, but I now comprehend the concept in theory. What fails to compute is why the Omnicrons were not immune to its effects. Dynamis should have no influence on a race which possesses no heart. Yet Sir expressed to Medion a desire to cease existing, illogical. I must pursue this anomaly further until the full I can't English today. Until the full equation becomes clear to me. I must analyze all the elements of the final days and deepen my understanding of the heart's intangible properties. To expedite this process, I require an external interpretation of those sections of the report which continue to produce errors in my calculations. I request the assistance of Sierra Terencia, as one who experienced the ravages of the ultimate despair on multiple fronts, and displayed immeasurable heart in engineering my defeat. She is the optimal choice to fulfill this role. So we either agree to your conditions or you tell us nothing. I'm sorry to put you in the spot like this, Sierra. If you have the time and the patience to spare, we'd all be grateful to you if you could humor the toy's demands. Why not? As Alpha dozed off, I suppose the subject was a bit technical. Bloop. Rouse yourself, Alpha. You must listen to and consider these matters, even as I must. What? He's so tired. Why don't you make a trip out of it? You know, actually visit the places that things Omega wants to ask about. It'll make explaining stuff easier, for one, and also help keep Alpha awake and alert. So either I run around with Omega, or I see you have chosen the mutually beneficial option. Logical. Setting aside the matter of Sir, there are 3 elements of the report on which I desire clarification. The first of these concerns the progression of the final days in Rodset Han. I recognize no pattern in those who succumbed to the transformation and those who did not. That's a bit of a trek if you wanted to chat with the locals. How about we lend you an airship? Do not require such outmoded technology. Sierra's teleportation spell is the most efficient option for long-distance traveling. This chassis is a model essential. This chassis is a model, essentially a toy. And Alpha, despite his organic composition, is indistinguishable from a stuffed doll. Conclusion: we qualify as material possessions. Pick us up, and you can teleport the 3 of us to our destination. Okay. Demanding little thing, isn't it? Sensors indicate we have arrived in Rodset Han. Objective: identify factors for resistance to involuntary transformation. Hypothesis: unaltered survivors of the final days will display significant strength of heart. Confirming this theory will require the cooperation of live subjects. Where is the ward designated for residential habitation? Understood, comma. Set up as our sub-destination. Please take the lead and select the subject in your interview. Omega. You can leave your quest companions behind by entering a different area, or by speaking with them and selecting options that ways. If you wish to have your friends join you, turn to there's some irony in having him still out. Quack, 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 quack. Alpha chirps enthusiastically, apparently unfazed by the prospect of climbing the stairs. Warning, please avoid stairs whenever possible. Oh my gosh, Fury! Thank you for the raid! Welcome, raiders, to the garden. I hope you stay and we're having some fun. We're doing the Omega quest from the most recent patch update. And then eventually doing the... Hey! You're going to hide here? Okay. Running away from all the selling. How's it going, Julie? Oh, thank you for the bits. Thank you for the 6 bits. I appreciate that. Oh, that's good. Whenever possible, my projections indicate high risk probability for accidental slippage leading to catastrophic structural damage. Steep inclines also. Okay. Why? Never mind, it's Fury. Steep inclines also risk my energy consumption by 63%. Increase my energy consumption by 63%. In mortal terms, they tire me out. Taking into account the difference in the... Yeah, okay, then that answers that. Taking into account the difference in dividable length, that design is inherently flawed. A convenient step height for one is an exhausting trial for another. Were I to oversee the civic design of the settlement, I would construct a sloped conveyor belt which enabled automatic transversal. Interesting. Streamer life sim, I think, too. I don't think I've ever seen those. Or played those. Zero personal energy. I want something like that. That said, I don't need any more reason to be lazy. There's a reason why I don't have the Omega toy following me around all over the place. It loud. Melancholy man. Are you a traveler? Please, if you have a moment, I could use an outsider's perspective. You see, I was one of those who sought to escape the madness plaguing the world by fleeing to the moon. Not that we ever went, in the end. So here I am, recently returned from Charlene, except now things are strained between my sister and I, since she chose to stay and I chose to leave. I ask her to help me find work, and she suggests I look somewhere that isn't Thavner. As if I wanted to abandon my home. Ugh, it makes me so angry. But your point is unclear. You elected to relocate to the star's satellite, thus your relative now perceives you in a negative light? Your sibling's judgment is in error based on the information made available to Hainish citizens. Your decision to withdraw to the moon was both logical and correct. Conversely, the decision to remain in Razanhan, despite the low probability of survival, defies explanation. Perhaps her reasoning pathways are faulty. That's right. I'm not quite sure what you're saying, but I'm right, aren't I? Or so I'd like to think. The problem is, I understand why my sister feels this way. I almost decided against going myself. Even then, I wasn't sure that leaving behind everything I loved was the right choice. And with the way it all turned out, That would be a conversation I wouldn't want to get in the middle of. Oh, hello again. You're the one who came to ask me questions about Kalzal. I'm glad to see you looking well after all the unpleasantness. I remember the burning skies and hearing the screams, but truth be told, I'm still confused as to what actually happened. I only know it wasn't unusual for entire families to go missing. Many of my neighbors' houses lie empty even now. Kalzal's place is one of them. I had no close relatives to speak of, and I heard that it was members of the consortium who came to remove his belongings. What a terrible thing to have to do. Terrible? Kalzal's passing was recorded in the report. Clearing out his domicile and readying it for a new habitation seems an appropriate reallocation of resources. Dear me, what a clever little contraption, but of course I'm not against making use of his quarters. That would be wasteful. It's simply that Kalzal was always such a vigorous person. All that passion, all those dreams, suddenly gone. I feel the same sorrow for everyone who was lost. Seeing the remnants of those vibrant lives packed away in boxes. That is what I mean by terrible. Feelings. Hey, I don't know you. Don't I know you? Yes. After the beasts were taken care of, you told me to rejoin everyone in the square. Thanks to you, I was there when Vricha gave his speech and found out who Varshan really was. It's a shame we don't get to play like we used to. But Mama says Vricha has been busy putting the city back in order. Maybe I can work for him one day, when I am a grown man. Vritra, Midgard Solmer's offspring, yes. And this child wishes to put himself at the worm's command, that he might make his own contribution to society? A pattern emerges. I predict the Danish survivors are those who had ingested Vritra's blood and become his draconic minions. The dragons were no match for our civilization. Might their combat capabilities are our own civilizations? Might. Their combat capabilities are not to be underestimated. It is unlikely they would experience emotions of dread and uncertainty as exhibited by lesser beings in times of undue stress. Omega, you're weird. Dragons? I'm not a dragon. I never ingested anyone's blood. Either. Ew! You're not of Vritra's horde, so you possess no hidden means to fight off the beasts. What a fear, then? You were frightened? Yes, I was frightened. I just hid and hoped they wouldn't find me. At least until she told me it was safe to come out. Seer, I require a moment to process this input. Let us move apart and discuss our findings. Oh, Omega. The heart is not logical. Flip. Processing data. Evaluating hypothesis against accumulated evidence. I offered an optimal analysis of each subject's testimony, yet each time their responses conflicted with my assessment. Without identifying the root cause of this conflict, I will be unable to properly define what constitutes strength of heart. Perhaps the heart you seek lies in conflict itself. Perhaps we should continue the questioning. Perhaps this matter is beyond you. Issue the challenge. 1, 2, or 3, chat. 1, 2, or 3. What do you think? Alien robot trying to understand matters of the heart. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. 1? Okay. An interesting observation. It is possible my base criteria is in error, in which case it is imperative that I continue this learning process and repair any fundamental misconceptions. Next, I wish to interact with an individual who endured similar circumstances to Kazal prior to his transformation. Are you acquainted with any local merchants who had dealings with him? Yes. One. Dijinabana Abaha. I can't say that. The fiber store. Acknowledged. Sub-destination set. Now remembering how to get there. This place is a maze. Automos. They're shipped together, right? You're probably not wrong. Wait, where am I going? Oh, over there. I could have teleported, but oh well. The view of the city is pretty. So vibrant. Omega, could you like slow down a little bit there, dude? It's like a little mini spider. I'm terrified of spiders, but he's funny. Or it, I should say. Whee! They teleported down. Well, look who it is. I must thank you again for your help in moving our textiles. Recovering from those tragic events has been difficult, of course, but with everyone pulling together, we've managed to get things back up and running. I come in with questions related to that tragedy. I can't word. Specifically, your survival of the final days. Although you are similar to Kazal in many respects, he succumbed to the transformation and you did not. Why? What is the critical difference between you and him? What? I'm sure I don't know. I'm not especially brave or courageous, if that's what you're asking. Perhaps being focused on protecting our workshops kept me from spinning into a panic. Still, I imagine Kazal would have been feeling the same sense of responsibility. Perhaps the weight of it all is what invited his demise. You were of the same mind, resolved to the same purpose. Yet your strength of heart, of spirit, was not equal. If merely emulating the individual is insufficient, then some other unseen factor must be involved. Not to interrupt these deep philosophical musings, but I do think I could ask you a small favor. There's a man by the name of Nashvan who's been helping us out here while he gets back on his feet. I have a feeling he'd benefit from speaking with you. Leave by the eastern exit. You should find him just outside, organizing some new inventory items. Still dissecting the Jibana's Baha's remarks. You're permitted to indulge his favor and seek out Nashvan while I continue to process this data. The equipment being manufactured here is worn to perform specific duties, yes? Conceptually, it seems analogous to our practice of switching frames to better serve our mission objectives. I, for example, did not begin existence with the Omega model. I was originally supplied with a standard issue Omicron chassis, serial number MO17. On this world, the alphanumeric combination would be considered my given name. Such distinctions are drawn from our nearly infinite register of celestial bodies to avoid the possibility of duplication. Furthermore, the cluster known as MO17 is better expressed in your language, as the Omega Nebula, the same word I use to introduce myself to your kind. Though you associate Omega with the advanced weapon construct, it is also my name. I see no reason to change it, no matter which frame I inhabit. Sorry guys, I'm tripping over my tongue tonight. Quack. 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 He's confused. He's cute. Alpha puffs out his chest proudly, seeming to imply that his Ironworks outfit is the best attire anyone could wear. He's so cute. Nashwan! That's all our orders accounted for. Everything looks to be of good quality. Kamala will be pleased. You're with the Scions, were you there? You were there! Yes, I'm sure of it. I'll never forget that day. You and your friends helped us escape when people began changing into beasts. My own son, he was afflicted. Then the huge monstrosity loomed right over him, and I remember my heart turning to ice, freezing in place. The satrap came to my aid, but then he too was gone. The memories run together in my mind like flashes from the nightmare. Only the words of your command still ring clear. I repeated them over and over like a mantra as I fled for my life. You must run, for their sake and your own. It all seemed so surreal, which was probably what saved me from the transformation. The truth of it didn't begin to sink in until the worst of it was over. I have not the words to describe how I felt then. The sorrow, the overwhelming sense of helplessness. I may still be wallowing in misery if not for my old friend, the Jinabaha. I'd lost my will to work, and he encouraged me with kind words and odd jobs. Now somehow I live again. I am thankful to him, to the courageous Ahawan, and to you. If you see your comrades, please let them know their efforts were not in vain. You said you lost your will to work. This signifies a cessation of efforts to maintain basic life functions. Yes? What changed to extract you from that stagnation? An offer to work from Dijinabaha should mean little to one without the desire to accept it. Was it some manner of mortal instinct? A primal need to survive and thrive? Instinct? No. No, it wasn't that. If anything, my instincts were telling me to lay down and welcome an end to the pain. Every day I think of my boy's final moments. I think of how scared he must have been, how it must have hurt. I want to scream my throat raw. The Satrap, too, still haunts my dreams. I see him being swallowed whole and jolt awake in cold sweats. But something changed when the Jinabaha came to me. I looked up and saw that even without my son or Ahawan, the world around me continued to turn. And because that fact grieved me so, I knew it fell to me to live on and remember them. Strange, isn't it? What drives me to rise in the morning is the very sorrow which once crippled me. This is a journey to find the answer for... That's... wow! I didn't even think about it until now. Now I really must return to work. To lose this job after everything I just said would be a poor jest indeed. May the sisters keep you well. Why, Miss Puppy? Why, Miss Puppy? Sorrow. The emotion generated by mortals when their ideals fail to materialize. This I have observed. Yet when I listen to how Nashvan's sorrow served to rescue him from near-fatal despondency, his logic eludes me. It's not logic. I'm incapable of perceiving the full measure of the heart's properties. My best projections failed to predict our subject's responses, and despite their almost equal occupational and mental parameters, the Jinabaha and Khazal exhibited different reactions to the dynamis effect. I'm no closer to recognizing the pattern for involuntary transformations in your ephemeral mortal spirits confound me as much as, if not more than, they did before. Have you considered that there is no pattern to the people afflicted? The heart of others were ever shrouded in mystery. Perhaps it's time we move on to the next element you wanted to clarified. Loop? No. Pattern? You imply that the transformations was not contingent on individual fortitude, but rather a random contribution of environmental factors. Such a theory would explain the otherwise conflicting data. Very well, I shall accept this as a provisional conclusion to this part of my investigation. I do, however, expect you to continue supplementing my education of heart-related matters. I have a new idea. Let's show Omega Valentine's Day. Confuse the heck out of him. Them, it. How would you approach this? So many questions. Omega has selected a new destination. Our next destination will be Camp Broken Glass. I desire elaboration on the dealings between the Ilsabard contingent and the citizens of Garlemald. The report described the contingent's purpose as the salvation of the local populace. Furthermore, both factions faced a common enemy in the Talafaroi. Why did they not immediately combine forces to their mutual benefit? The inconsistency requires closer examination. Sierra, initiate teleportation. So bossy. I'm not paying attention to my gil, but I'm hoping these are free. Otherwise I throw a handful of gil up in the air every single time. Because going to these places is not cheap. Teleportation successful. Evaluating immediate environs. A cold weather region by Aetheris' standards, but significantly less extreme than a star with ice planet classification. This body should not be unduly impeded. In contrast to Alpha and his uncontrollable shivering, my frame appears highly resistant to low temperatures. Poor Alpha! Retrieving data. Records indicate that remnants of the contingent force and a number of Imperial citizens yet inhabit this location. We must speak with the representatives from both factions and explore their respective attitudes. Blip, proceed. Okay, they're following me around again. Poor Alpha. I'm gonna get him a coat. Alright, what's this way? Okay. Your mini map. Resistance delegate. Sierra, come to see how things are progressing, now have you? I can't speak for their overall strategy, but communication with the locals has become a damn sight easier since Julius and his soldiers stepped in to help. Oh, we still face our fair share of distrust, of course. Some folk even think we're enslaving minds with our foreign magics. We have Anima to thank for putting that idea in their heads. But all things considered, I'd say we're pretty good. We're doing pretty well. Establishing an open dialogue was the first big step. Query. You consider this level of progress acceptable? The reality of your efforts falls far short of the ideal. If your aim is to provide efficient succor to the local populace, then absorbing their numbers into your command structure would be the optimal path. Oh, I wouldn't want to go that far. We're not looking to take over their nation. If we're to do this the right way, we need to recognize and respect each other's ways of life. So while it may not be the easiest solution, I agree with the contingent's slow and steady approach. I'm just happy we're saving lives. Fair point. I just want to wrap a blanket around Alpha right now. Not here. It's here, but not... What? I'm confused. Is it up top? No, it can't be that. Is it? Oh, I didn't even see you there, emaciated refugee. A shadow from the past. Yes, I know you from Victor's spoils. Have you come to laugh at me? A wretch who chose to lose Lincinia and her sister rather than accept your help? The fool who ended up reliant upon your charity nonetheless? Well, perhaps I deserve your derision. My compatriots surely scorn my failed conviction. I have shamed my people and brought dishonor upon my nation. I am no better than a kept beast, my pride sold for a bowl of food. A bowl of feed. But my soul, nay, that you shall not have. I have refused you your honeyed offers of a new home. This land is where I belong. This is where I shall remain. Flip, you demonstrate opposition to the contingent's overtures? On what basis do you refuse this cooperation? The data suggests the local populace is struggling to produce the bare minimum of sustenance. Have you some secret strategy for survival, or do your orders compel you to accept your present misfortune? What? Must I be mocked by a Magitech toy now? No, I have no secret strategy, no binding orders. But comport myself as any true Garlean patriot would, uncompromising, unbending. Blast it all. Once again, this input is unanticipated. Let us move aside and process what we have heard. Alpha! bumping the mic. Accessing and analyzing recorded data. Integration complete. I've evaluated this most recent input and made comparisons to our discoveries and rods at Han. Consistent only in their inconsistency. The responses from both contingent member and Imperial citizen were highly irrational. Conversely, any Omicron, considering their predicament, would have echoed my assessment exactly. The divergence from self-evident logic is key. Hypothesis. The illogical relationship between would-be saviors and suffering populace is another result of the unpredictable nature of mortal hearts. Blip. Any property of or ability has inherent advantages and disadvantages, yet never have I encountered such a unique detriment. It appears that those who share our metaphysical capabilities are prone to complicating simple cognitive processes. An undesirable quality. I will, however, persist in furthering my understanding of the subject. Alpha's gonna fall asleep. Or chirp happily. Query. Prior to formulating our next step, I wish to know who is this Licinia the Imperial mentioned? That was a hard one to deal with. If I remember correctly, that was sad. Acknowledged. To summarize, insufficient data on foreign culture resulted in inadvisable and ultimately fatal action. I witnessed such self-destructive behavior during the course of our planetary conquests. Overwhelmed enemy forces would voluntarily withdraw into perilous regions, leading to a succession of inevitable losses. Tangentially, tangential data request. I wish to learn about burial customs. The practice has ever seemed nonsensical, but new data suggests it arises from the same source as your cognitive complications. Take me to this Licinia's burial site. It may aid me in bloop, bloop. Energy delivery system compromised. Core temperature critically low. Warning, immediate. Yatsuyu! I don't have that one. Bloop, blip. Temperature nominal. Energy level stabilizing. The creators of this model must have experienced impaired cognitive reasoning during the design process. Upon our return, I will request additional climate shielding, as well as an accurate temperature sensor array. This will not affect my combat capabilities, but should improve my basic survival rate. Reconfirming sub-destination. In which direction will we find Victor's spoils? Can I get you close to a fire first? Acknowledged. Alpha, you are to remain in close proximity, close enough to envelop me in your feathers. You are permitted to carry me on your back if you so choose. How about I just fly there? This does happen to be one of my favorite mounts. Especially for flight. Oh, over here, okay. We're not doing the one down on the lower levels, we're going over here. Got it. slip. A deceptively deep snowdrift almost defeated me, but we have successfully arrived at the location you indicated. Caution advised. An unknown individual appears to be investigating the object of my interest. You're a Eorzea's champion, aren't you, Sierra Terenzia? I recognize him, but my brain's not computing. Oh, I never introduced myself, did I? I am Menace, soldier of the First Legion and comrade of Julius. Perhaps you remember me from Tetrium? 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 I can't say it. We spoke about collecting ceruleum, and again later on, after Lord Quintus had passed. That's what I thought. I remember now. Manus, explanation requested. What is the reason for your presence here? That must be the tiniest Magitech weapon no, it's just oddly shaped. An oddly shaped communicator, isn't it? In any case, I have nothing worthy to report. I heard that the sisters who used to live in my sector were buried here, so I thought I'd come and pay my respects. Alphino and Alize told me the story, complete with the profuse apologies, though they were adamant that no amount of remorse could erase the tragedy of what came to pass. Not that my fellow soldiers and I are in any place to judge. We were manipulated, fooled into starting an insurrection which led to countless deaths among our own countrymen. Objection. The casualties incurred through your infighting are distinct from those caused by the Isambard contingent. To restate, you are justified in seeking restitution from the contingent for causing the deaths of Licinia and her sister. Retaliation for damages sustained is also a logical progression. I can deduce two reasons why you do not initiate hostilities with Sierra and her allies. One, you judge your remaining forces too weak to contend effectively with the contingent. Two, your emotions are complicating the issue. Tell me, which of these is correct? Well, when you lay it out like that, I'm afraid my answer isn't like to win me any medals, so would you mind keeping this to yourselves? There's the unspoken thought that we're outmatched on the battlefield, certainly, but the real reason I'm not demanding restitution has little to do with weighing the odds. The simple truth is, I'm so caught up with simple survival that I've no strength to spare for past grievances. The same goes for avenging any comrades we've lost, be that my brothers in arms or Lord Quintus himself. Although it seems everyone has an opinion about the manner of his passing. Some say he should have fought until the end, that he abandoned us to the enemy. Others praise him for taking the full burden of responsibility and freeing us to walk our own path. I don't know who's right and who's wrong, but I'm inclined to side with the latter. He gave us the choice of freedom, and that's the choice I made. I could cry and rant and rage, but at what would be the point? I'll save my energy for worrying about my next meal, my next task. I indeed focus on the ones left behind, on making some kind of life for my comrades and me. I need to focus on the ones left behind, on making some kind of life for my comrades and me. I can word. And if I need to lean on the contingent to do that, then that's what I'll do. Even if their aid comes at a price, I'm willing to pay it. Even amongst our own, there are times when cooperation demands compromise. What matter that they're outsiders. Besides, I think I could grow to like Alphino and Alice. They've reached out to us with kindness and compassion from the very beginning. Summation, your desire to survive, even should it mean allying with the contingent, was a feeling you already harbored. That your side had committed worse atrocities was the logic you invented later to justify your reasoning. Blunt but accurate, I suppose. The heart is honest about what it wants, even if the mind takes a while to reconcile the decision. Well, this has been oddly was man who commanded the strength of his heart, but the data suggests the opposite is true. The surge of spirit, of feelings, of emotions can entangle your thoughts to such a degree that even control over your own behavior is compromised. It seems a most counterproductive specification. This also explains why my interactions with mortal subjects have produced more confusion than clarification. It presents a formidable barrier to understanding. Investigate the graves! Flip. My earlier hypothesis has been borne out. The suboptimal operation being conducted here is the result of emotionally compromised reasoning. I'm ready to progress to my third and final query. I will learn more about those referred to as ancients. It is clear that this group was a crucial factor of the final days, but the information contained in the report was insufficient to form an overview. The Loporrits are creations of the ancients and are said to maintain repositories of their knowledge. By my calculations, the base of these moon dwellers will provide the best source of additional data. Teleport us to their burrow, Sierra, preferably before my battery freezes over. But why? Your teleportation spell was successful. We appear to have arrived at the location described as Bestway Burrows. An inspection of the technology in use here would give me detailed insight into the ancients and their civilization. This body, however, lacks my previous frame's advanced observational functionality. Growing way. No, it can't be. Oh, it is. It is you. Oh, Sierra, I've missed you so. What is this you've brought with you? This soft, feathery vision. We've been out fluffed. Pack up the moon, it's all over. Why bother with burrow building bunnies when you could walk around with this adorable avian engineer? Just bake me into a pie and be done with it. Inspect our inventions? Wait, so you're not done with us? Huh, I wasn't truly worried, of course, and I certainly wasn't about to roll myself in a dough and dive into Cooking Way's new oven. If a technical breakdown is what you need, then I'm your Loporrit. As the resident atmospheric regulation expert, I can field any question or query you might care to pose. But acceptable. I will employ this being to guide me around the facilities. Your presence is not mandatory, even locked within my current chassis. I am still an autonomous construct that has endured hundreds of your life cycles. I'm capable of completing this simple objective alone. Especially since he's not about to kill it. Hey, I can wander around with Alpha for a little bit. Aww, he ran away. Sad. Objective complete. What happened to Growing Way? After my fifth question, his response began to suffer noticeable delays. By that stage, we viewed a representative cross-section of Lopera engineering, thus I deemed it Sorry guys, I don't know what happened there. I don't know why it just blipped. Comcast being Comcast, I think. It doesn't like working anymore. But only Streamlabs disconnected, so I don't know what's going on. Despite establishing a near ideal society, this beings nevertheless harbored a weakness which invited self-destruction. In studying them, I stand to gain a greater understanding of Sir's anomalous decision. Royme informed me that another type of ancient-made entity exists upon the satellite. They call them the one they called the Watcher. I would speak to him. But then conserve your ether. We will ride this Argos to our destination, as you have suggested. Argos! Fairvow, I can fly. Up to him at least. Let's boop on Argos. Bloop. Impedance detected. The creature identified as Argos refuses to acknowledge our presence hypothesis. Upon our arrival, Growing Way expressed concern that he had been outfluffed. This suggests the existence of a fluff-based hierarchy? Oh my god. My station in such a system would be predictably low, but Argos is adamant in ignoring even Alpha. Its fluffiness level is impossible to gauge. Argos turns to you with an impassive gaze. It seems you will need to intervene. Just think of them as luggage. Argos gives an exasperated snort before motioning to his back. It seems you have permission to climb aboard. Loop, you have secured the creature's permission. Curious, you must have special standing in the fluffiness hierarchy. Oh no, please. I have allowed myself to become distracted. Let us continue on to the Watchers at once. Fluffy hierarchy! I expect the memes to be rolling out by tomorrow, if they haven't already. Fluffy hierarchy. I was bemused by the arrival of these small visitors, but I see they are companions of yours. What a rare thing for my abode to be thus crowded. How may I be of service to you? Hello, Watcher. My purpose here is to learn more about the ancients. I would know of their deeds, their philosophies, the very nature of their hearts. I would understand why the final days was visited upon my home star. A worthy endeavor, but there is another better suited to assisting you with that task. Perhaps you might favor us with a tale or two. Not getting any sound from the game? Or my voice? What? Refresh. Jade, you might need a refresh. And those of you watching, you might need a refresh too, because I lost connection there for a second. Interesting. 1 second. What's going on here? I'm gonna disconnect one more time and restart it. This time manually. Okay, let's see if that's any better. 1 second. I don't know if that's working or not. I don't know why it's not detecting the game. Or it's detecting it, but it's not picking up the sound. And sound's all the way up. Cancel. Can you still not hear me? I lost connection and then everything goes sideways. That's very interesting. What is going on with Streamlabs?